I just caught a giant. You know, a lot of people hate throwing a shaky head. I honestly hate throwing a shaky head, but September is for the S's. And here's what I mean by that. Shaky head, shade, speed. It's all gonna be based on where you are in the country, but a shaky head in September is pretty much a clutch way to get those first fish that are moving shallow to commit to something. You can still catch them doing some other stuff, but a shaky head is super, super hard to beat in September. So every time that September rolls around, I know it's gonna be a grinder. I have multiple shaky heads tied up. So I'm gonna show you guys super quick what I have tied up and different weight sizes, different worms and everything like that. So first and foremost, let's go over the worms. A straight tail worm from any company can be a great shaky head worm. These are 4 that I just have ready in my boat for most of the year. I'll mess with some shapes and you know, different designed baits as we get later into the fall when they kind of key in on those crawdads a little bit more. But for September, early September, the heat days that kind of come back, just a straight tail worm is really all you guys need. So with that, starting with a tried and true, everyone should hopefully know what this is if you're into fishing even a little bit. This is a robo worm. It's Tequila Sunrise, some sort of red, blue, dark worm for those kind of stained water conditions or low light water conditions is a good idea. Next is a Zoom trick worm. Cheap, extremely efficient, comes with a ton in each bag. These are hard to beat. Any color, again, black, green, pumpkin, red, purple, anything like that is great. I would definitely pick up some smaller worms. This is just the Finesse Black. I think it's like a 4 or 5 inch worm, but kind of messing with your size a little bit can help, but that's a good all around. A little bit off the beaten path. This is a duo. This is a, what do they call it? A wriggler crawler. It has a really, really interesting worm shape to it. It's got a bulbed tail, so that one's going to be super bouncy when it's on the bottom. Comes in a lot of unique colors. This is kind of a off the beaten path. Hookup Tackle sells a lot of these, so if you're into trying a few different baits that most guys aren't going to be throwing, then you can check out the duo stuff. All right, and lastly is going to be, this is the new magic worm from Missile Bait. It's a combination with a robo worm and missile. It's a nice little worm, got some great color combinations to it. It's got a good amount of stiffness where it's durable, and some unique colors. So those are the 4 worms that I would really be throwing on a shaky head in this kind of hot little transition last part. Next thing is speed. This is super important. I'm going to show a clip here in a second with me catching a bass where I flipped into a shade line, reeled the worm out to recast, and a bass blasted on it and stopped right next to the boat. And I've had 2 or 3 other fish do the same thing. They're right next to the boat, hanging in those dense shade lines, and being able to flip a shaky head up there really kind of stealthy and pull it away from them fast can get some of those key bites. Dude, I just caught a giant. Dude, reeling a shaky head in as fast as I could. And he hit it right next to the boat. It's a freaking 4-pounder, dude. It's a freaking 4-pounder. Let's go, baby! Yeah, hold on. Dude. Just like swam the worm out as fast as I could, and then straight up donkey just swam right out, ate it right next to the boat. Speed is going to be dictated by the size of your shaky head. This is a 3/32 shaky head, very light, good at skipping under docks, under the laydowns, under those shade overhangs, and it's going to have a nice slow fall rate to it. You don't really feel bottom contact all that much, so you're definitely going to feel a lot of bites, but this is good for skipping around docks. And then the other is a 1/4 ounce, so skipping up a little bit in head size. This is a 1/4 ounce It's got that duo with the bulb tail on it. So if I see a couple fish on the outside dock post, or I'm fishing some deeper rock or deeper ledges, I'm gonna go with the 1/4 ounce shaky head to make sure that I'm falling straight down and I'm keeping bottom contact. So keep that in mind, and maybe have 2 different head sizes. Each day is different. Sometimes they want that slow fall, sometimes they want that heavy. Lastly is shade. So again, going September is for S's. Shade, they're gonna be on the shade lines. In my case at Smith Mountain this year, they're already shallow. We had a couple, probably about 8 or 10 days of some cooler weather, and that pushed some fish shallow. So shade lines, once the sun gets up, skipping it under docks, going back into pockets and looking for that shade line that's got a little bit of depth under it can be key with those bass. And I've already I've only been out here for a couple hours, but I've already seen multiple wolf packs, 3, 4, 5 bass together, just cruising the bank. Even though the water's almost 80 degrees still, they're already back here and they're already looking around for forage and stuff to eat. So keep that in mind for September when you're out, that look for shade, shaky head, and varying speed on the drops. And yeah, you should be able to catch some fish. It's a great way to get new people into fishing is throwing a shaky head, and it's a great way to catch some real big ones. So thanks for watching. Follow me on Instagram, Smith Mountain Lake Fishing, and check me out on my guide site if you want to book a trip. Thanks.